Hey everybody, welcome back. I want to tell you another story that I love to tell, but hardly ever get to tell it anymore because there's just not enough time to tell it. It's the water line story. So let me tell you kind of how the water line story started. When we moved into the building, one of the things that was an issue out here was that there was no water lines in front of our building. There was no fire hydrants. So that created an issue that we had to build a building that was non-flammable, a type 4 construction. Or we would have to put in like this well with a fire pump for like $60,000. Remember, we only had $250,000 to do the building. We had to go back and get another $140,000. So for $400,000, we built the whole thing. $60,000 for 50 people to have a fire sprinkler was a big deal. So we had dealt with water issues from the very beginning, and we put in what was called a public well, but we did not have to, because we were small enough and because we were a church and because of whatever the regulations were back then, we did not have to have it certified. We had regular well put in with regular water, but we had to make this deal with the county and the health department and all of those people was that this is not potable water. What that means is you can't drink it, okay? You can't drink it. You can't use it to make Kool-Aid or Gatorade or tea. So the way we did that was we put up these little signs, not potable water. You can wash your hands with it, but don't drink out of the faucet kind of a thing. So we had the crystal water guy with those big 5-gallon things of water, deliver water. For a while, we went and got our own water from Sam's or from BJ's when they opened, and we had the the coolers that you would get your water. And we had so many 1-gallon jugs of water from like Publix in our mechanical room with all those little milk carton crates holding them, and we used all that water to make our iced tea. Some of you that were on the coffee team back then, we used that water to make our coffee. We did a pour through and made our coffee that way. So we went along for a long time. We were kind of grandfathered in where we didn't have to create a public well with certified, tested water by working at this kind of workaround way, which is all totally legal and everything. So I get this letter one day, and it's from some attorney, and the attorney's saying that, I represent, some municipality or some government agency, and they're going to ungrandfather us. I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean? If you're grandfathered in, doesn't that mean you're good? We're grandfathered in. And they're like, no, they're changing all the rules, and they're going back and taking these benefits that they gave you before away. You're ungrandfathering us. That's what kind of said. I just kind of ignored the letter. I get another letter about a year later. He didn't bother me for a year. And it says kind of the same thing with some sterner words. And I kind of ignore that one. Well, it wasn't a year. I got the next one. It's like 30 or 60 days later, I get another one. And it sounds like it's not from the attorney. It's from somebody with a logo from the Department of Environmental Protection, the DEP. And the logo looks like a badge. You know what I mean? Like I told you about the people with the badges and the guns show up. You need to whatever you say. I felt that way when I got this letter. I start shaking. I'm like, oh, these are the people with the badges and the guns. DEP. Anytime there's 3 initials from the government, that should scare you, right? We're all afraid of the IRS, the FBI, the CIA, the EPA, the NSA. Now, we like the NSA. If anybody's listening from the NSA, we're big fans of the NSA. It's not like they're listening on our phones, right? So quickly, I go get us an attorney. He says, yep, you're going to have to deal with the health department. The health department comes out and they're like, oh my gosh, you're going to have to put in this other kind of well, and you're going to have it. It's going to be $35,000 to set up this well, and then you're going to have to monitor it and have it tested $500 a month forever. And I'm like, wait a minute, $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year plus $35,000. Oh my goodness. So I was like, well, how much does it cost to like hood? Because they had brought county water. Remember I said they didn't have it before? Well, in those many years, they brought fire hydrants in. How much would it cost to tap into the water? And, oh man, it's expensive. It's like $50,000. But if you're going 36,000 plus 6,000, 6,000, 6,000 forever, that $50,000 doesn't sound so bad. So, okay, that September, I say to the church, we're going to have to tap in. I need to raise $50,000. I need you to pray, and I need you to give. And I sent out a letter to 50 families asking them for $1,000 each. That's a lot of money. And several people gave $500, and several people gave $1,000. And God didn't do it through 50 people doing $1,000 each. You know how he did it? I mean, he did it, and people gave, and we had some costs. We had 2 men in our church. Well, we had a lot of men in our church, but 2 specific men. One of them was a guy named Rick Bullington. He's still here. But at that time, Rick, I think, only came to church about twice a year. That's what I would guess. But on the Sunday, just so happens on the Sunday that I tell them we're going to have to tap into the, he comes up to me and hands me this card. So he's a Florida Gator fan, so it's like the colors of, it's orange and blue. And he says, listen, my company is I own a company, only one of 2 or 3 companies in all of Central Florida, in this area, this county, that can jump in and do a hot tap. I didn't know what a hot tap was. So basically, if you're going to tap into the county's water supply, they got to turn off all the water for all the neighborhoods and inconvenience the whole wide world while you hook in, unless you have the company that can have the permit to go down there and do it while the water's still flowing. And this was his company. And the guy is at our church, and he's at our church on that Sunday, and now he comes every single Sunday. Like, oh my goodness, this is another miracle. And then we have a guy in our church, Jim Breeding, who his company does roads. They do I-4. And Jim's like, listen, I'll have my guys out here, and that's why you still see some of his cones that they have on our orange cones that they have on our property. So between Jim and his guys did all the jacking and boring. They dewatered these 2 guys. They dewatered all of it, got the water table down. They drilled under the road. They hooked into the water. And we now have since then, we have all county water. What's crazy is God paid for all of that. And on top of that, our water bill, I thought our water bill would be huge. Our water bill is like $140. You know how much we were paying for Publix water and for the Crystal Water guy? We were paying over $250 a month. You add all of that together, and now we're saving money. $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. God, I keep telling you, God can do anything. And let me tell you, God answers prayers. And he answers prayers. And sometimes, what are the odds that one of the 2 guys in the whole county who can do this happens to go to our church? I didn't even know that. And happens to be sitting there that day. I can't wait to tell you about tomorrow. I'll see you then.